Hello, welcome to this LN training session. My name is Doug Stroud and I will be your logistics trainer for today. In previous training sessions, I've created, approved, and printed a sales order, acknowledgement for a sales order. Then via the planning, I transferred a planned PO to an actual PO. And in the last training session, I created, approved, and printed the purchase order acknowledgement for the PO. So at this point, the PO is awaiting receiving in warehousing. So what I thought I would do is show you one of the new screens that's been available where you can go out and see information about orders. So I went to the Warehouse Manager dashboard, and as you can see, there's information here. I'm going to do a filter again with a dynamic filter on my purchase order, which was order 87. And again, you'll notice it's got, I can do dynamic filter so I can get just that information. If I check the box next to, or which is called selecting the line, you'll notice that above it actually opened up some stuff and there's a section called Inbound Line Status Overview. And I want to review this with you because I want you to understand the steps that my PO goes through. So here's the Inbound Line Status Overview for purchase order here. Here's my purchase order line. And if I go to the details for it, these are the activities that have been assigned for my PO line in warehousing. So the warehouse receipt, the generate inbound advice, generate storage list, and then actually processing the storage list. And you'll notice again that under the automated activities, I have automated the generate inbound advice and generate the storage list. So when I confirm the warehouse receipt, it will automatically do a generate inbound advice, generate the storage list so that I can have it to go with the goods as a traveler, and then after the goods are put away, I can update the storage list. So now that you've kind of seen the information here, let's go back and actually do a warehouse receipt. So I'm going to close my sessions by clicking the little X up here. Okay. Now, what I want to do is open warehouse receipts. And again, there's some information up here that you'll see in the different tabs. You'll notice again that I've used the personalized toolbar to add icons here at the header and at the line level. Okay, so to create a new receipt, I click the new icon button, and I'm going to tab down because remember when the goods were received, I get a packing slip. So I'm going to put in a packing slip number. So just for my sake, I'll put in the packing slip number as the year, month, day, and a sequence number. Now I'm going to actually add the PO lines. I click the new receipt line here, and what it does, as you can see, it brings up a list of all the information that's out that is available to be received. I'm going to click my PO and do a link and close. And what that does is it popped up a message that told me that this PO has been received on a date other than the planned receipt date. Okay? And that's because of tolerances that have been defined in the system about what to do if a PO is received early or late. In this case, I'm receiving it early, so therefore I'm getting the message. And I say okay, and now it has added my line to the receipt. Okay? So at this point, I would make any changes if I needed to, like if the packing slip quantity and the receipt quantity were different or whatever, I would update those. I could also manually turn on inspection if required because of the packaging not looking correct. I could actually have it sent to inspection even though it wasn't originally designed to. But since I don't need to do any of that, I'm going to confirm my receipt. And like I told you earlier, when I confirm my receipt, the storage list is automatically generated and can be printed and attached to the goods to travel with them to the warehouse. Okay, so you'll see that it's telling it that this item is going from receiving to a location 10004. So what I'm going to do is, again, normally I would print this out, but in this case I'm going to close it. I've also got the system set up where it'll print a label, but again, right now I'm not doing any barcoding and all, but this would be functionality where you could have the system automatically create you labels when you receive the goods. So let's close that. Now we're back at warehouse receipts. And again, if I check the line here and I go to my status bar, you'll notice that the warehouse receipt has been executed, the generate inbound has been executed, and the generate storage list has been executed. So now I would go put the goods away. Oh, I forgot to do something. Let me go back. Well, I know of another way. I forgot to record my inbound line run number, so I will need to get that, but that's okay. So let's close warehouse receipts. Now remember, with the storage list, they would go put the goods away. So and now come back and update the system. So I'm going to open up this, and actually I can just do next here. And here's our receipt. Normally, as you notice, the run number here has an I. It has the 4-digit year, 2-digit month, 2-digit date, and a sequence number. And as you generate inbound advices, it continues to generate these. And again, via the Modify toolbar, I've added an icon here for put away the current mission. And I'll talk about that in just a second. You can also use the Find button to actually find the receipt that you want. And again, it has an activity here, which is the session code. And then it has a run number, the warehouse information for it. In this case, I've already got mine, so I don't have to do that. Now, you'll notice here that it has a location in the warehouse. And if I click this and zoom off, it actually has a location. If there's a location in here other than 0, it tells you that there's a fixed location for this item. So therefore, you don't have to create one. If it came back with a 0, the way I've got our warehouse set up, if there's a 0 location, then I know that there is no fixed location defined for this item in warehousing. And after I put it away and I would update it here, I would have to go back and create that fixed location, which could be another training session. And so at this point, I've got everything done. The item was put away in this location because that's what was on my storage list. So I'm going to do pick current mission. And a lot of people say, well, why do you do pick current mission versus put away the run number? The system could actually create different storage missions for the same run number if information needed to go, say, to different warehouses or something like that. So if I put away the run number and there were multiple missions, I would put away all those missions at one time. So my preference is to always put away the current mission, which means it's only going to put away the screen that I'm looking at right now. Okay, so I click the put away current mission. You'll notice that when I do that, that information here disappears because that line has been put away and there is no longer a need for the storage list. Okay, so that concludes our training session for today. So let's close our sessions. And then I'd like to thank you for attending the session, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.